One can deliver as well. Let's get things started with game one.
Here we go. Match 2, round 1. Baus versus Chene in the quarterfinals. Now, we're going to have to see if we'll be seeing some pre-bans come out, especially in the zone of Artemiel and Ragdoll. And sometimes some edge cases can happen, but the ultimate irony of having such great units like that is that it gets to be a rarity when you actually get to bring them out.
Exactly. And as you said, you just confirm it. Ragdoll gets banned. Hathor is a safe pre-ban if you don't know your enemy. But it's a good ban either way. So,
it's also a little bit of a limiting option too, because that means that Baus isn't planning on using his Hathor for this one, because he got the first pick from there and he chose to forego it in favor of that immunity option of Fran.
Yeah. So Fran is not a bad pick. Fran is
never a
Fran
bad
is Bay.
pick. Fran is Bay.
She is Bay.
Fran's an honorary LD Nat 5 by a lot of people's accounts. Shen, following up with that Ciara and the Daphnis, choosing a speed lead and 2 solid damage options.
Just by going at that, it feels like he's going for that first turn.
Kind of getting that snipe feel, because Daphnis thrives in those environments.
Yeah, she does. He does.
They do. One of the Fran, Vertihile, and Lauren. What? This is looking like your team comp.
I love it, boss. I love it.
I know Baus can't hear us right now, but we're cheering for you because that team comp is delicious. That's actually my first 3 picks lately in Season 10.
Oh, really? Okay.
Shiho, following up by Shen. If you had told me that Shiho was going to be a key staple in the meta a year and a half ago, I don't know if I would have believed you.
Not meta, but I've always been a big fan of Shiho. Mainly because I've been a big fan of World Boss, so you need water units for World Boss.
Oh, that's
yeah.
It's a good point. The support for Shiho.
And
there's the Artemiel. Always seeing the Artemiel. You know, we got that saying, Artemiel is the 4. He's the bruise, he's the heal, he's the stun, and the strip. He's got it all.
He's so beautiful, gorgeous.
And because of that, it's likely that Shen won't get to use him. So personally speaking, I'd like to see some sort of support option, because right now the only sort of heal that he has on his team is from Artemiel, and it's not even a cleanse heal.
No. It could be that Chen might go for like immunity as in maybe a Amelia. However, having Arta in his team and facing Boss with that Lauren and Vanessa, the defense break is enough to deal with Arta. But personally, I don't think that Arta will see the light of day.
Arta. Shout out to Stoic.
Stoic, my boy.
I know. I hope you're watching. I know it's like 5 in the morning, 5 in the AM back home, but like
he can watch a VOD.
Yeah, you can watch a VOD. We love you, and we're saying Arta.
Arta.
And there's in a Lucia to round out the draft as well, but I did want to comment on what you just said a second ago. A defense break plus attack bar reduction in slow is actually a really viable way to deal with Artemiel. So Lauren, surprisingly enough, is a counter to another unit.
All depends on how fast Boss is. If he can if he can one-shot this Daphnis, I don't think he will have any issue continuing this game.
Exactly. Here we go. Match 2, round 1. Baus versus Shen going in here. Fran getting that first turn with the attack buff and immunity out on the table. Lauren going for the strip on Daphnis. Didn't make too much happen, but did throw him further down the line.
Yeah. So what he has to do right now is to provoke the Daphnis. To be honest, he can just provoke the Daphnis, and he gets it.
He got it. So now Daphnis' whole turn, it's not really up to Shen what Daphnis does anymore, because as long as he's provoked, he has to attack that Josephine. And that means he might get counterattacked and locked in a stun chain.
Yeah, that was a really good proc from Monkey's side. He could have... that stun on Vanessa neglected him to deal a defense break on the Daphnis. So when Daphnis goes for an attack on Josephine, he would have gotten a heavy damage.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I can count the number of landed bombs on one hand.
You know, I love that because I don't own a Sierra, so
you
I'm
like
okay
seeing
with that.
people suffer.
Yeah, I love
Sierra.
that.
That's so dirty, but you're right about that. Because he declined that defense break application from Vanessa, now his monster is going to live to see another day for the time being, and now Baus is going to have to spend significantly more time killing it than he would have before.
Yeah, so just watching right now, as soon as that Daphnis goes down, I think Baus will have the control, having that Lauren in his team, having so much support with the Josephine and Fran. So
exactly, there's so much support on the other side, and there's just there's only Artemio from there. It's interesting seeing Baus not go for the extra damage and the defense break on the Daphnis and choose to focus down Ciara. He's doing this intricate little juggling game right now where he's trying to keep both of those heavy damage dealing units down.
Yeah, it just looks like he's going to control the Daphnis with the Lauren. So as soon
Never
as
gets a turn.
Yeah, and Josephine can just shut him down right now.
There we go. So now he doesn't have to invest any more turns from Lauren on there.
That's additional proc.
He can just focus on that. Josephine procking like a fiend this game.
She's beautiful.
Vanessa is down, and now Baus is forced to play with the support he has on the table. He can't let his monsters die anymore.
He needs a stun right now, and he didn't get it. So all he has to do, Baus, just focus down that Ciara. Immunity will be up. After this one, maybe?
I think you may be right about that. And once Artemio is the last one on the board, Baus actually has a really good shot with Lauren. A really good stun on that Fran.
That was a really good stun, a crucial stun. That just leaves up, unless Josephine gets the proc right now. However, Ciara has a slow on her right now, so Lauren can... Oh my god. And
Lauren too. Chene is getting so many great stuns, just making his life a little bit easier now. Here comes that immunity that's going to be putting up an essential wall, and he's going to have Shiho and Artemio do some serious stripping of that immunity before Ciara can get a bomb in.
Just by looking at this, it's Lauren has so much in her kit to just control Chene at this point. That defense break is heavy on Arta, because Arta is not going to do a lot of damage right now.
Arta's not going to do a lot of damage. Now, in this situation, it's almost good that Lauren isn't critting that much because it's keeping her from getting attacked from Artemio every single time.
In Baus's situation, I would maybe go for that monkey to just get away to just get rid of that strip and that potential stun. Because Ciara is a lot easier to deal with considering you have immunity in your team.
Right. Baus is doing a good job with threat assessment, I'd say, in terms of damage, but he's getting tunnel vision. He's forgetting what the other units bring to the table in certain situations. If he's not careful, that could lose him the game. It could shift in Shen's favor right now. He needs to kill the Ciara before Artemio gets the heal up, too.
Exactly. However, I will probably see that... I'm not entirely sure about that pick, but
now Josephine is dead, and now, oh no, Baus is certainly starting to sweat if he wasn't before. Lauren is amazing, but she does need some help because as a natural 3-star monster, she doesn't have the best HP stats.
But she is beautiful, and with her beautiful glory, she will probably carry this game.
I love how firmly we're believing in Lauren right now.
We baked her.
Yeah, we baked this cake. Okay, now it's just Artemio. This is the situation we were talking about. Lauren can thrive here as long as she doesn't get too many crits. Just needs to get that slow and the defense break. No defense break. So that means Artemio is still going to be dealing maximum damage.
But personally, I don't think this is going to be a problem. I have had so many situations with this. I'm not sure about that second skill, but that doesn't matter.
Because that heal block is on now.
Oh, that is actually true. But he still has the control of the game right now. So... My Bay.
Yeah, my Bay. Lauren is securing the win for Baus right now because Artemio can't heal himself as long as that heal block is on the table. So he's working with half health and a slow.
She's working overtime, and we love that.
Yeah. Oh, this is the end of the road. Lauren so suitably gets the final kill, and Baus gets a win, which is a win for him and also a win for Lauren users across the world.
Yes. So it's just passively a win for me.
That's right. Now, Baus only needs to do that one more time. We're still in the best of threes right now in the quarterfinals. If Baus can just replicate that win again, then that means he's secured his spot for the best of 5 round.
That's right. Now, even when I was talking to Obabo on stage, you could tell that a lot of the players are really nervous having this first quarterfinal round be best of 3 because it's so volatile. If you lose 2 games, you're out.
Right. Yeah. Because the thing about best of 5 is that you kind of have a little bit of room to test your opponent and see if your plan is going to work. And if not, you can adjust. And it's kind of like a trial and error mode. But in best of 3, you get one of those.
Yeah, and so you really only have one game to kind of, like you said, test things out. And, I mean, we've seen guys like Obabo start things off testing. It didn't work, and so he's like, okay, well, let's go back to the game plan and start to put some solid wins on the table. And so you can see a little cheeky smile there on Baus's face after that first game.
I mean, he's always a positive person, so you will always see that cheeky smile.
He's like, I don't know. He knows. Lauren won.
I'm cheeky.
Well, now we're going to get into game number 2, and I hope that we do see some way to deal with what is the strongest force, or one of the very strong forces in Summoner's War, especially when it works so perfectly.
Yeah.
I think you're right about that. Match 2, round 2. Baus 1 point above Chene right now. Match point. If he can do this one more time, he secures his spot in the semifinals.
I want to see my baby Lauren.
You want to see your baby Lauren one more time?
Yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't see a pre-ban for Lauren.
No. I mean, Arta is a, if you have Ragdoll Arta, you have to ban either of them.
One or the other. You don't want to be faced with them in either of them, because it does make you basically use a ban in a lot of situations. Baus has found a counter to it, like a lot of people have, so he doesn't necessarily need to use his ban for one of them, but you definitely don't want to see both of them on the same team.
No, exactly. However, having Ragdoll in your team right now can enable a, like what I've been speaking about before, a single cleave team on Chene's side. However, Baus seems to pick that Daphnis from him, which might throw him off a bit and neglect him that single cleave team, which I thought he was going to get.
Now, what's interesting is I don't know if Chene actually has a Vanessa, because he opts for that Ciara instead. He might just be going for the damage. Oh no, there it is, right there. There's the Vanessa. I might have just forgotten about it, actually. You see a lot of monsters up here. I think he probably picked it last time, too. Yeah, I'm just forgetting about it up here. There's a Josephine on Baus's side. It worked really well for him last time, delaying it and bringing that match into the mid-game.
Yeah, Baus seems to just be counterpicking right now with, it looks like he's most likely, I think, okay, that Lauren...
Switching sides, you traitor!
Okay, Chene, you are my baby.
And then for this round, whichever side Lauren is on, you have earned Taki's support.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I like that. I like that. That just shows that they are all diverse. Whenever you pick a Lauren, that just tells you you are a drafter.
That's right. And this is I like this draft from Chene a lot. The double reset from Okeanos and Ganymede is tough to deal with.
It is. And
Baus bringing the Rauk.
That's what I love.
The Rauk. The whole room is cheering for Rauk right now. The hype monster himself. And there's a lot of effects on the table to bring with him. He's got 2 sources of attack break, a glancing, and a stun. So when Rauk does that group attack, there's a lot of cool effects that could happen, especially on a team with notably no immunity on it.
Yeah. However, it all depends on how fast Chene's team is. Because if Chene has the first turn here, and that Daphnis goes down, I'm not sure even Rauk can carry that.
No, Rauk definitely needs a little bit of setup, and he needs to actually take a turn. Unfortunately, though, that Lauren's really fast, so she gets to determine who's going to go on Baus's team and when they get to do it.
Okay, so what we can see here is just, I'll probably go for that reset on Fran and just focus down the Daphnis. And then, okay, now
he's doing that very effectively right now, because he can just pop the bomb. Already, Chene making Baus play at a 3 to 4 monster deficit. Now he's got to come back from that. You can see Chene is visibly excited that he did that, but now, I thought Rauk was going to go off there. The whole room goes a little bit quiet when Rauk's turn is up.
I went really quiet because I always want to see that, you know?
That's the repeat. That's the scratch.
Yeah.
Getting a little bit, just a glance on Josephine and procking out of the defense break.
Yeah.
That's actually so valuable for him.
That is really valuable.
Rauk can put it right back if he wants to.
Oh my
he gets
God,
the
okay. Okay, please more.
Rauk could take this. Do it again. This is a setup right here. If Rauk gets another turn, he can get an additional one off of the Vanessa kill.
Okay, so Vanessa is going to go down right now.
And he just chooses to take it right now. I'm getting too risky. This is not the place to greed.
I love that. I love greedy.
Yeah, I know you love greedy. This isn't the time for greed.
Okay, so just by... all depends on, like, if Ciara lands her bomb, then it might be game. But it's all about resistance. But
yeah, right now, because again, what have we been saying this whole time? Ciara, we can count the number of successful bombs on one hand.
But, you know, she might actually do something at when it's the
right time.
Yeah.
When all the spotlights are on her and the game rests in her hands, then maybe just once in her gosh dang life she can land a bomb.
All right.
And Chene has properly identified that Rauk is a big threat. And there's the stun I was talking about. That's what it is. The Rauk is on fire.
He is actually elementally fire. So elementally.
Someone get an extinguisher. He's fire. Turn him into an Ikaru. Lauren has a pretty crucial decision to make here and chooses to focus down the Rauk just to push him back a little bit. It's interesting that he went for the second skill there and not the first one, but either way, it might be cleansed from Fran later.
The thing is, Ciara has her bomb up. She has her bomb up, and Fran is slowed down, so Ciara will probably go in between here.
He has the chance to get in some damage if he wants, but now might not be the time.
No.
Because Rauk is not long for this world, so he chooses to go
chooses to
for
do
the
that.
damage. I don't know if I completely agree with
He
that.
doesn't really need to use the bomb right now. He could just first skill up. Like, you know what? Not be greedy. I am greedy. I would probably not do that bomb. But that is a good decision if you want to execute.
He could almost first skill here. I think Chene is overcommitting a little bit too much to this kill, but he still has a lot of tempo on the board, and once he gets rid of it, there it is. So
Yeah.
he could have saved the bomb for later, but it is what it is. He killed it, and that's totally fine. He probably has something in mind that we're not thinking of, too.
Yeah.
You know, these players, again, these are the best, these are the top 8 players in Europe.
There's
So,
a reason we sit here and they
and
are
are playing, exactly. So I can only speculate. We can even ask Chene later. There we go, getting some kills. Chene relaxing for a second in between turns. Just taking a little bit of a stretch and a breather, secure in the thought that he has gotten a point and he's not out of this match
As
yet.
we've said before, Lauren is Bae, so she could probably just control this game. Right now, she could just push down the Fran and, yeah, probably execute it
Right here.
right here.
You're right. No, you're right.
I am right.
You're right. And I think, does Ciara have her bomb? I don't think Ciara has her bomb
She
up
does
just
her
yet.
bomb.
She does have the bomb.
Yeah.
Thank you. I looked away for a second.
And
Blowing it up, securing the kill on Fran, and I think Chene is taking that point with him right now, unless he can get some serious stuns.
on that, Lauren.
Unless
That's the
he
only
gets-
thing she has to gain from this. If she gets...
If she keeps doing this,
Okay.
then maybe.
Yeah, not really.
Not really. No,
Yeah.
no. It's pretty much over, and Chene can press auto if he wants to right here, and he should start thinking about what he's going to do in the next game, because he just got a point on the board. Both players are at match point for match 2.
And what have we learned from this?
I've learned a couple things that Lauren is Bae, for
Lauren
one,
is Bae.
and that Ciara still can't land bombs all the time.
And that if you manage to make a comeback and tie the series at 1-1, we've got a 100% win rate so far.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, so after the comeback in our first series, now here in the second series, we're setting ourselves up for almost exactly the same thing. Chene tying it back up here. He's got the home crowd advantage. And it's clear that even though you might listen to his interview and say, well, he hasn't played in a while. You see his rating, and it's like, it's not that high. And I'm just like, no. That's not what matters. What matters is, can you bring the monsters, the strategies that you need to take a game? And it's very clear that he can.
You're dang right.
Yeah, I would probably look at some of the sport like chess. Like, if you have that mindset, you can go for it.
Exactly. It's all about just adjusting your strategies for what works. And he saw that, Lauren, he chose to pick it.
Yeah.
That's right. We are about ready for game number 3. So once again, we have to head to the deciding match to figure out which player will advance on to our best of 5 semifinals. And of course, that chance at representing Europe in the grand finals next month.
That's right. Here we go. Match 2, round 3. Somebody's going home after this, and somebody's moving on to the best of 5s.
You are correct here. We will have to see who it's going to be. Is it going to be Baus? Is it going to be Chene?
It's not going to be Ragdoll.
It's not going to be Ragdoll.
He's getting pre-banned again.
I just don't want to hear the French
I know.
scream. Vive.
Viva.
Vive? No, I'm not going to finish it.
Yeah, you're not going to finish it? It's so funny. Every time Chene gets a proc, a kill, the French commentators go nuts. And
Yeah.
I would be in
I
the
love
exact
that.
same place.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love
this.
that.
It's so cool being in a room filled with all these commentators and casters.
It
Like,
is
this-
pretty international, right?
Yeah, it shows just how far SWC has come, being streamed in 5 different languages right now.
Yeah, we love that.
Leading with one of Shen's favorite leads, which is that Ciara. It's funny seeing Ciara fought for right now in the pick ban phase.
Yeah, the Ciara just sets it up for what I think Baus might go for, and which I'm not going to expose right now. We'll just have to see, because we're pretty close to the players. I'm not sure. Not sure if we're going to see it, though, but I
Chene.
would love to see the Ophelia.
Chene is sticking with what works right now. You say you want to see the Ophelia, this could be the time, or he might save it for the latter half of the picks. I don't know how you feel about picking a unit like that so early in the draft still.
Yeah, I'll probably wait for the Ophelia. Is like it's a unique pick, so you could save it for the last pick. It's not something that is common for everybody.
Right, and even folks who have it don't always represent it at the RTA table too much.
No.
Baus following up with a Fran and a Lucia, doubling up on the cleanse and getting a little bit of sleep in.
The queen and her daughter.
The queen and her daughter. I hadn't thought of it like that.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good point. The light fairy queen and just the water fairy.
Yeah.
Ganymede coming up, never a bad choice, followed with Josephine. In this case, though, you have such short cooldowns. I guess he's just taking it in for the seal magic at this point in the glancing. Ganymede isn't a bad choice, though. I don't mean to ever implicate
the
that.
problem here is, on Chen's side, he doesn't have that much to damage.
He doesn't have anything, and no damage to reset. And that's what all of his cooldowns are so low. You don't need Verd's second skill. Josephine needs one proc and her passives back up. And Lauren, her first skill is often more valuable than her second one. So I'm imagining we're going to see a combo piece right here. If Hawthorne wasn't pre-banned, I'd say it was Hawthorne.
Yeah. From Chen's side, I probably going to pick a Arda, but however, I don't see Arda fit here that much. It's all up what his last pick is. If he picks Arda, it could be the Arda ban, it could be the Lauren ban. I see Lauren more as a threat than the Arda.
Oh, the Arda. Really, I never thought I'd say this. The Arda actually worries me a little bit because there's the Ciara right now that has the ignore defense bomb. We've got Daphnis who puts a defense break on, and there's not too much immunity. There's no immunity on Shen's side, so he can't protect himself from that bomb either.
So personally, I would probably go for that Lauren ban. And then just deal with the Arda.
Right, and then just deal with that. Yeah, very good. And then so Baus is really thinking about this right now. Shen is a little bit worried. There's the Arda ban. So the Artemiel normally soaks up those bans. Like, people get their eyes on that LD Nav 5, and they pick it. And sometimes, like, tensions are pretty high up there on the stage, too. And Baus might know something that we don't.
Yeah, and it's not just that. You just don't want to deal with that potential stun, even though you have immunity, even though you have a lot of cleansers and stuff.
Dang, Skippy. Round 3 of match 2. Dang, Skippy.
Yeah.
Getting the immunity up along with that attack buff. So Daphnis is going to be dealing a lot of damage, but there's no immunity to strip because Shen doesn't believe in will runes.
But it doesn't matter because Chen can just reset this Daphnis.
And now, there we go. That was a great strip from Lauren, and now, so he can ventilate if he wants, but he chooses not to. That's what we were referring to earlier. That Seal Magic was super valuable, though, in getting rid of that Daphnis. That's something I missed. I thought that maybe Ganymede wouldn't be as effective with the Fran on the board.
It is effective. Like, he doesn't just have the ventilate. He also has the third skill. So in this case, he just, like, struck down the Daphnis. Daphnis is not going to do a lot of stuff right now during the course of the 2 rounds that he has.
Right, and now Josephine gets to choose to provoke somebody so that their turn is not their own.
That is a really good proc.
Good proc from Aegir, because that might be enough to finish off that Vertihile. Oh, that's 5% though. Oh, he can just do it right now if he doesn't want to trust the dot.
Honestly, he doesn't really have to do it.
He doesn't. That's 5%. I've been trying to tell people for ages, you can just leave it, let the 5% do its work.
Yeah, the 5% is something you should not underestimate.
That's right. You got to believe in the 5%. This is, I really hope that Seppi's watching this. We're at SWC right now. He always tells me to finish off units when they got the dot.
However, I would have loved to see the kill on the Verd right now instead of...
Because if he was planning on sleeping, that might have been a little bit of a misplay because now the dot's not going to kill.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, to be honest, I refrained from saying 5% again, so I'm sorry,
get
everybody.
Off. This is, it was 5%, but the shield took some of it. This was... Folks at home, still believe in the dot. Just don't sleep the units when the Josephine's on the board.
Precisely.
Getting that increased cooldown time back on the Elucia so she won't be sleeping units or cleansing anybody for a little bit. Fran goes ahead and does what she should have done a second ago, killing that Verd, getting it off the table so there's no more attack bar boosting from him.
Yeah. To be honest, just watching like how it's looking right now, I think Baus has the upper advantage right now. If the Lauren dies, Elucia and Fran, the beautiful daughters, the beautiful mom and daughter, can just carry this.
So this needs to be securing a kill. Aegir should not be underestimated. Seeing that Daphnis leave the table didn't really change my opinion of who's in the lead that much.
No.
Aegir has enough to solo this in terms of damage. He's got so many options, and plus he sort of has a built-in proc with that attack bar absorption.
Exactly. From Chen's side, he didn't have the sustain, he didn't have any immunity, so and that is what Baus is not lacking in this case.
Great. That was a great proc from Josephine, but he was really hoping for that stun on the Aegir because that's going to be the death of Lauren, and now Shen is realizing he's got no more damage on the table. He can survive, but he's got nothing left to kill.
It's nothing. In this case, as I said, I stick to my comment. The fairy queens. The beautiful fairies.
The mother and her daughter.
The mother and her daughter.
The mother and her daughter. Elucia, always awesome. Unfortunately, we saw her save an enemy unit this time. Oh, and Shen's like, of course. Oh, even now. Of course, right? And now Ganny is alone up against impossible odds. Baus is preparing to receive that extra point that will carry him into the semifinals right now.
Yes. And as I said, like Elucia is also another unit that okay, I'm not gonna expose myself, but Elucia is another unit that I have baked. For myself.
Oh, really?
For myself, not for anyone else.
Not for anybody else. So you're taking credit for Elucia right now?
Yes, I am.
That's a lot. That's a lot of credit to take considering how much she's seen. Chene sitting and basking in what remains of the SWC career right now. This is Chene, still an incredible player. This is probably not the last time he's going to be seeing SWC.
Nah, he's a strong player. Coming in with not too much RTA games in his
right.
pocket, but still